Picture this, an environment engulfed in darkness, eerie shadows dancing on the walls, a world where the only light that dares to infiltrate is the moon's sickly pallor, casting an otherworldly glow on the grotesque spectacle that lies beneath. A place where fear is the air you breathe and terror seeps into your very bones. Let your imagination wander to a place where comfort is a distant memory. A place where the comforting hum of life is replaced by the deafening silence of the unknown. This is a world shrouded in darkness, a canvas painted with the most chilling shades of dread. In this realm, the shadows are not just absence of light. They are entities, alive, writhing, dancing in a macabre ballet on the rough, cold stone walls. They morph and twist, taking on forms that defy logic, yet are strangely familiar. They are the embodiment of your deepest, darkest fears, your most horrifying nightmares brought to life. The air hangs heavy with a sense of unease, the stillness interrupted only by the soft rustling of unseen creatures lurking in the darkness. It's a discomfort that crawls under your skin, a chilling sensation that leaves you on edge, your senses heightened. The hairs on the back of your neck stand up, a primal response to the unsettling environment. Such is the setting of our tale, a narrative woven with threads of horror and dread. This is the stage on which our horrifying story unfolds, a world that is as much a character in this tale as the creatures and phantoms that inhabit it. This is the birthplace of nightmares, a realm where fear takes physical form, a place where the line between reality and the horrific figments of the imagination becomes blurred, where the unthinkable becomes the norm. It is an environment that breeds terror, that thrives on your discomfort and feeds on your fear. So brace yourself as we venture deeper into this abyss of horror. Steel your nerves, for as we peel back the layers of this dreadful world, the true grotesque nature of our tale begins to take shape. In the midst of this darkness, grotesque images begin to take shape. As your eyes adjust to the darkness, disturbing images come into focus. A world that was once familiar now stands alien, a grotesque parody of reality. The once comforting silence of the night is replaced by the chilling symphony of the unknown. In the inky blackness, the faint outlines of disfigured bodies begin to materialize, their forms twisted and mangled in ways that defy comprehension. The darkness becomes a canvas for your worst nightmares, painted with the thick, viscous medium of fear. It is almost as if the shadows themselves are alive, warping and shifting to reveal horrifying images that were once reserved for the deepest corners of your subconscious. The air is heavy with the metallic scent of blood, a cruel reminder of the shocking mutilations that have taken place. Each new discovery is more terrifying than the last. The once familiar world is now a labyrinth of horror, each corner hiding a new monstrosity, decaying bodies, their limbs distorted in ways that would send a chill down the spine of even the most hardened observer, lay scattered like grotesque pieces of a jigsaw puzzle. The sight of such inhuman mutilations is enough to make your stomach churn, the gruesome reality hitting you with the force of a freight train. The atmosphere is oppressive, filled with an intense sense of dread that hangs heavy in the air. The darkness is no longer a refuge, but a stage set for an unfolding horror show. The world around you seems to pulsate with an eerie energy, the very fabric of reality distorting under the weight of fear. The images are repulsive, unsettling, designed to provoke discomfort and disgust. Yet, there is a morbid fascination that holds you captive, a macabre curiosity that forces your eyes open, even as every instinct screams to look away. The sight is unbearable, but there is no escape. You are trapped within this twisted nightmare, a prisoner of your own fear. The darkness is alive with the profusion of blood, a sight that chills you to the bone. As we delve deeper into the bloody nightmare, the air thickens with a metallic tang, the unmistakable scent of fresh blood. It's a sensory assault, the taste of iron heavy on your tongue, the sticky warmth seeping into your skin. Imagine, if you will, a world bathed in scarlet. The walls are slick, wet with blood that drips down in a slow, relentless rhythm. Each drop echoes through the silence, a morbid symphony playing a haunting melody of dread. This is no ordinary nightmare. This is a realm where your worst fears take shape, manifesting as grotesque scenes of horror. Bodies torn asunder, their forms twisted and mangled beyond recognition, dominate the landscape. Each one a testament to the terrifying power of this nightmarish world. Viscera strewn across the ground glistens under the dim light, a macabre display of shocking mutilations. It's a sight that provokes discomfort, disgust, and above all, fear. It's a sight that sears itself into your mind, a grisly image that refuses to fade. The darkness around you pulses with an ominous presence, shadows shifting and writhing like living entities. The atmosphere is heavy with the weight of unspeakable dread, every corner hiding a new horror. The silence is oppressive, broken only by the soft squelch of blood underfoot and the distant echo of a scream. This is a place where the line between the living and the dead blurs, a realm of nightmares where the unthinkable becomes reality. It's a chilling experience, a journey into the depths of fear and despair, a voyage into the heart of darkness itself. In this world, the blood serves as a constant, a crimson reminder of the horrors that lurk in the shadows. It's everywhere, coating everything in its sticky embrace, a macabre testament to the terrifying realities of this bloody nightmare. It's a world where fear reigns supreme, a world where nightmares bleed into reality. The blood is everywhere, a crimson reminder of the horrors that lurk in the shadows. Just when you think it can't get worse, the true terror begins. Imagine the most horrifying scene you've ever witnessed, then amplify it 100-fold. That's what we're delving into now. The scene is dominated by a grotesque spectacle that's designed to provoke your deepest, darkest fears. It's not just a scene, it's a bloody nightmare come to life. The darkness around you is thick and suffocating, a tangible entity that seems to feed off your fear. Shadows dance and twist like wicked puppets, casting eerie silhouettes that play tricks on your mind. The air is heavy, filled with an atmosphere of dread so intense it chills your bones. But it's the blood that truly dominates this scene. It's everywhere, a profusion of crimson that paints a picture of pure horror. The metallic scent fills your nostrils, a sickening reminder of the gruesome spectacle unfolding before you. Disfigured bodies lay scattered, each a shocking testament to the brutal mutilations inflicted upon them. Each one tells a story of terror, of agony, of a nightmare brought to life in the most horrifying way possible. The sight is enough to churn your stomach, to make your heart pound in your chest. And yet, there's a grotesque beauty to it all. The way the blood glistens in the faint light, the way the shadows dance with devilish delight. It's a symphony of horror, a ballet of dread, a masterpiece of terror that's designed to leave you breathless. The terror is relentless. It doesn't give you a moment to catch your breath, to gather your thoughts. It's a constant onslaught, a barrage of horror that threatens to overwhelm your senses. The fear it invokes is real, tangible, an entity that wraps its cold fingers around your heart, squeezing until you can barely breathe. And that's the beauty of it. It's a scene that's meant to scare you, to make your skin crawl, to make you question everything you thought you knew about fear. It's a scene that's meant to push the boundaries of what horror truly is. The terror is relentless, an onslaught of horror that leaves you breathless. As the nightmare reaches its climax, a chilling realization dawns upon you. The terror we've traversed together, the blood-soaked scenes we've navigated, the grotesque images that have filled our senses, they all converge into a single, stark revelation. It's not just the blood, the disfigurement, or the mutilations that are truly horrifying. No, it's the darkness itself, the unknown lurking within it. That is the real source of our dread. In the depths of this nightmare, we've witnessed the worst of what the human mind can conjure. The darkness has been filled with eerie shadows, the air thick with a sense of impending doom. Every corner turned, every step taken has revealed a new horror. A new grotesque tableau that has twisted our stomachs and set our hearts racing. Yet as we've navigated this bloody labyrinth, we've discovered something even more terrifying. It's not the gruesome scenes that have made us recoil in disgust, nor the shocking mutilations that have made us gasp in horror. It's the realization that the darkness itself is alive. It's a living, breathing entity, filled with an insatiable hunger for fear and dread. This darkness, this chilling embodiment of our worst nightmares, is the true horror of our tale. It's not the blood or the gore that leaves a lasting impression, but the cold, unrelenting darkness that swallows everything in its path. It's the realization that the darkness is more than just an absence of light. It's a presence, a force, a malevolent entity that feeds on our fear and revels in our dread. As we reach the end of our horrifying journey, remember this: the scenes of blood and mutilation may fade from your memory, but the darkness will linger. It will remain, a chilling reminder of the horrors that lurk in the shadows, the unseen terrors that lie just beyond our perception. In the end, the dark